It's my feel-good breakfast show.
I am just bemoaning my own scam troubles. If you have a bank account, no matter if you're a company or an individual, you are possibly a target of deposit and refund scams. Despite many warnings to the public, scams of this nature are still extremely prevalent, and we've invited SABRIC CEO Kalyani Pillay here to discuss this and the importance of being cautious to avoid falling victim to this or any kind of financial information-driven crime. But this one, and I had something similar happen to me, but obviously not in the broader context of just this conversation. But I wanted to find out because I think this has probably happened to a lot of people, sold an item on a website, someone made contact, made the deposit, went onto my app, registered, the money was there, it was waiting to clear, but it showed that they had from a reputable source, the money had been clearly deposited in the bank. If it's good enough for the bank, it's good enough for me. And moments later, that money hadn't cleared, and I realized that I had been scammed. So maybe in the broader context, is that this kind of scam, or are we talking about something slightly different?
No, we're talking about exactly this. And I think you used very important words. The words are waiting for it to be cleared.
Yeah.
Because what happens is that people don't wait for it to be cleared. And because of that, they, in good faith, accept that this is a valid transaction.
If someone's been able
Yes.
to do that, in this case, they had used a bank guaranteed check.
I think what would have happened in that probably would have been just a check that was issued. And that check would have bounced, but it would show a deposit into the account. But over and above that, what the criminals are also doing is, so they go onto a newspaper, they look at the classified ads, they look at who's selling goods, and of course they make the call and they say, yes, we're very happy with the price, we'll come and collect it or send it to me, and I'm going to deposit the money. Give me your email address and I'll send you proof of deposit. And it's so easy these days to fabricate the proof of payment. And that's why we're saying to everybody, don't just rely on and act on the proof of payment.
Even if it's registering in your account until it's cleared.
Has to be cleared.
It's cleared.
Has to be cleared. Even if it means picking the phone up and saying to the bank, is this money there ready for me to use? It's not showing that it's pending. Sometimes people don't check so clearly. So always, always make sure the money is in your account, ready for you to use before you release the goods, before you provide any services. But on the other side, Graham, you also get not just deposit scams, but you also get the refund scams. So what the criminals are doing is, take your example, the goods that you advertised. So if you had a response from the person saying, look, I'm going to buy this, I'm putting the money into your account now. They go ahead, they do the deposit, you see this deposit into your account. A few minutes later or an hour later or a short while later, they call you and they say, I'm so sorry, I actually can't go ahead with this transaction. For some reason,
yeah.
Can you please just transfer my money back to me? And here you go and think, oh my God, shame anyhow. And you transfer the money back to them. You're giving them your money because you haven't waited to see that that money has actually cleared. So very important. A number of businesses and number of individuals have become victim of this, out of pure bona fides, have gone ahead.
It feels right.
Paid.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It feels normal. It feels right, and that's the thing. I've grown up in South Africa, so I'm very well aware, hypersensitive to these sorts of scams and things. And they did it so easily with me, and they looked real. It all looked real. Like I say, when I saw it in my app, my banking app, I was like, boom, okay, sorted.
Yeah.
Just make sure that you double check. And I think this is becoming our kind of median here, is that you always, when there's a financial transaction happening and information is changing hands, just double check. So can we...
But also, also is not just a South African problem. It is a problem globally. This is happening all over. And I say it because South Africans travel all over the world. So just be mindful of the fact that it just doesn't always happen here only.
Well, hopefully we've given you some tools to be able to protect yourself. Almost every one of us has an email, and that unfortunately makes us a target for fraudsters. So join us next time when SABRIC CEO Kalyani Pillay comes through to discuss email hacking and what we need to do to protect ourselves from these hackers. And it's happening more often than you would choose to believe.
We are brave, innovative, everywhere. We are SABRIC.